Well, welcome. I'm Perry Williams, and we're here at Westfield High School in the locker room to talk to head basketball coach Shane Sumpter. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah. Coach, let's talk a little bit about basketball's just started, and you have a situation going on here in Westfield. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing for the school. So,
Absolutely.
But with Westfield still in the football playoffs, you have a few players that are still missing on this 2016-17.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we're excited. This is a good thing for everybody. Our communities are real excited. We're going to host a big football game Friday night here against Fort Wayne Snyder. So Fort Wayne Snyder, I believe, is ranked 1 or 2, and we're certainly a top program as well, and top team. So our program is really our school is really excited about that game. So I told somebody the other day, if it's a couple more weeks, that'd be okay with me. That means we're going to a football state championship. So we're really excited about Friday night hosting that semi-state game.
Yeah, and I know at Hamilton County TV, we're very excited too, because we're going to be broadcasting here. And, with this run that you've had this year, last week we didn't get to do the game, but we went to Lafayette and followed you up there, and then did a playoff game here. But we've got to do it. This will be our 7th game we've got to do for the Rocks this year. So it's been really great. We appreciate the athletic directors and all you coaches, because it's a great opportunity for us and a great opportunity for the kids.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And it's like I said, our whole school, our community's fired up, and it's going to be a big game, and we're excited to host it. And of course, it's probably going to be a busy area because if I'm not mistaken, I believe Carmel's hosting as well. If I'm not mistaken, so it's going to be a busy area here in Hamilton County. But yeah, we're all looking forward to Friday night in our football program.
31 traffic is probably going to be pretty good coming from the north.
There's going to be a lot of traffic coming from the north. Absolutely.
Let's talk about this basketball team a little bit. First of all, you're not new to the game of basketball, but for many years you were the girls basketball coach here, and then last year you switched to the boys, and this is your 2nd year as the boys coach. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's 7 years here. I'm certainly not new to the school. 7 years going into my 9th year, but 7 of those with the girls, and I really enjoyed my time here with the girls. And last year made the transition to the boys, and that gave me an advantage where I knew the kids, but they didn't know me as their coach. I really felt like the boys bought in from day one when I stood right here in this locker room and met them for the first time. Just trying to get them to understand our vision, how we want to play, and the things that we need to do to be successful on the basketball court. And certainly feel like we're off to a good start. We started a little rough last year at 1-5, and then the Carmel win really springboarded our program and got us going. And I believe, without looking, we won 8 of our last 12, finished 500 in this conference, which this conference is very tough, and our sectional is very tough, and we were competitive in every basketball game. So I feel like within a year and a half time, we've made tremendous strides in this program. We got a lot of kids, a lot of youth kids playing, and we're going to be a young basketball team this year, but our kids are coming in and working hard, and we certainly feel like we're moving in the right direction with this basketball program.
And with being in the Westfield community, with the growth potential here, and the things that are going on at Grand Park here in Westfield, and with that facility out there, that basketball facility out there, of people being able to come in, and athletes coming from all over the country, it's really raising the bar of what we're going to see here. And like you said, I'm sure that it gets tougher and tougher every year to make that decision on who's going to be the 15 to 18 players that you're going to keep.
Yeah, we're certainly, obviously there's no secret, Westfield's a growing community. It's a great place to live, great place to raise a family, and we're certainly proud of our school and our program. But and you mentioned Grand Park. What a tremendous thing to have right in our backyard, and we play a lot of games over there, and just a beautiful facility for those of you that haven't been out there, but certainly a benefit for that to be right here in our backyard.
Yeah, and the one thing that it's really changed high school basketball is, AAU basketball has been around for a long time, but it's really almost every kid plays some type of AAU travel
Yeah.
basketball from, fourth grade on
Really,
up.
yeah.
So the talent level and the kids are getting bigger and stronger and,
Yeah.
and understand the game better, which always helps a varsity coach because some of those kids already have those basic skills that you need.
Yeah, they do. Our travel program starts at third grade, and myself and our coaches are heavily involved in that. In fact, we got travel practices tonight after our varsity practice. So we kind of lead each grade, and it's if it just think of how well those kids will execute once they're juniors and seniors if they're learning our philosophy terminology at that young age, and it's really important to have a solid foundation, and that's really what we're trying to get in place right now, and we feel like we've made some big strides in that regard.
And we talk about Grand Park facilities, but the auxiliary gym or whatever you guys call it here, the field house or
Yeah.
whatever, is
Yeah.
a fantastic facility.
Yeah, we're spoiled. Actually, where we're sitting right here now, I've always told our kids if there's a better high school locker room in the state of Indiana, I'd have to see it.
Yeah.
We're very spoiled with our facilities, and then the field house out there and our gym, and not to mention our football stadium,
Yeah.
our soccer field, and on and on and on. So we certainly feel like we're spoiled here at Westfield with our facilities and things that we fortunate to have.
Yeah. Well, Coach, let's talk a little about this 2016-17. We'll have to have the conversation a little bit different than I had with some of the other coaches around the county, but because you still have some players playing football. So let's talk about some of those kids that you got, because you got a game coming up here, on the 26th? You're playing Kokomo. Is that a practice game or is that?
No, that's a game we've actually postponed already.
Oh, okay.
We played Kokomo last week in the regional game, so we actually postponed that game before we even started because obviously one of us were going to advance. So that's I think it's a February game now. So we'll open up with Pendleton Heights the Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Which has got a great program.
Great program. I have a lot of respect for that basketball program, but we got a scrimmage on Saturday versus Decatur Central, which again will be a little shorthanded because we don't have all of our guys. But I had 3 terrific seniors last year, and Charlie Warner, who went to Grace.
Yeah.
Robbie Lynch got our most improved player. So we kind of look at those things, what kind of springboard us. Robbie Lynch was one of those things, one of those players that just really got us going. And then Kyle Nicole had a terrific senior year. But, this year we have one lone senior, and Ian Christensen had a great fall. He had a great spring, and he's really came a long way. So everything's really going to start with him. Averaged about 13, 14 points a game last year, and he's really got to lead us. Again, we're going to be a young basketball team. We've got Luke Hafner, who's going to be a junior for us. He played a lot of JV and a little bit of varsity last year, but we really feel like he's come a long way, and he's going to have to be a big part of our program. Caleb Welch, who's a sophomore, played a lot of JV last year as a freshman, so we're looking for some big things from him as a sophomore. And then we got a couple point guards, off guards, but Zach Banks was our point guard on the JV team last year, a very quick kid. But he'll probably be our starting point guard, and then Josh Van Dyke, who's another just very quick kid, and we're going to look for some big things from him. And then Jarrett Bailey coming off the bench as a sophomore up from the JV. So very young basketball team. 3 out of our top 6 or 7 kids are going to be sophomores, and then there may be a freshman or 2 in the mix before it's all said and done that we're going to look for some things from.
Then that, in talking about AAU basketball, and then of course you get to play with the school and everything the month of June.
Yeah, in July. Yeah.
It's unbelievable how far it brings these kids along and how they can mature from year to year. And also the amazing things, and this, being in coaching for a long time, when you had a freshman and you put him in a game maybe 15 years ago, those first few games he had that deer in the headlight look, okay? But these freshmen and sophomores you put in a game now, man, they're ready to play because they play tough competition.
Yeah, it is. It was much different when I was in school. You couldn't do any of this stuff. And, June and July, we pretty much got them now. So, some of these freshmen that I'm talking about played some varsity basketball this summer. And summer's a little bit different. Summer. But but at least they get that experience playing. And of course, the AAU the basketball that they're playing, and the high-level travel basketball that these kids have been playing since third grade. So you're, without question, it wasn't as prevalent years ago, but
No.
today, I mean, it's nothing to go out and see a freshman playing varsity basketball. When I was in school, that was almost unheard of.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I'm ancient, but
Yeah, but I understand what
it just was almost unheard of. There was a chain of command, and you played freshman, you played JV, and you went varsity, and that's just not the case. You know, I tell kids, if you're good, I don't really care what grade they're in. If they're a freshman and they can help us be successful right away, they're going to play. So yeah, there's definitely some changes in that regard.
Because I know when I was brought up, and I'm sure it was about the same with you, even though there's a big gap in age, but usually when you were a sophomore, you worked very hard on JV because you
Yeah.
may get one of those last couple of spots to
Absolutely.
dress for sectional.
Absolutely, and that's a big deal too. Putting on a uniform, dressing for the sectional. You know, you only can only dress 12 kids, so making that sectional roster is huge. But just the way our school's growing, it's everywhere. You know, it's a competitive environment out here, so kids have to work hard and compete for spots, and that's the way it should be. You know, pushing each other each day to get better. And at this level, and the teams that we got to play with, the Fishers, Southeasterns, Carmels, on and on and on, it's a competitive environment out there.
Yeah, and the one thing about it, and I guess we're really blessed here in Hamilton County for us to all be a part of the Hoosier Crossroad Conference, and then you throw in the Zionsville,
Yeah.
and the Avon, and the Brownsburg, and then we all play, and then everybody plays Carmel.
Carmel
So
sectional, yeah.
you get to see a lot of good competitive basketball, and
Absolutely.
and it's you know, you really, when you look down at your schedules and stuff, you don't really see some easy games. I mean,
Not
everybody's coming after you.
Yeah,
okay?
there's not many nights off. Our
No.
schedules are very tough, and all the schedules around the Hamilton County are tough. And again, you mentioned our sectional. It's just, I always feel like the winner of our sectional has a chance to make a deep run because
Oh,
our
yeah.
sectional is just really, really tough. And I don't think there's any arguing, it's one of the toughest 4A sectionals in the state. There's
Oh,
just
absolutely.
year in and year out from top to bottom it is. So, very, very tough competition.
Coach, any kids that, other kids that you want to mention, maybe off the JV that'll be playing a lot of JV that you might see, and you want to mention any freshmen?
Yeah, you know, we
names, or-
have some freshmen, you know, a kid named Cam Simons, who's a very good football player that's going to be contend for the varsity position next year to be starting quarterback. He's a versatile kid that we feel like can be a good player for us down the road. Zach Byer, who's also a freshman, 6'3" kid, and TJ LaPlante's a freshman, and Eli Padgett. Those are 4 freshmen that could play significant JV minutes for us this year, and that we feel like is going to be contributors, and maybe even towards the end of the year. So, going to be a young basketball team this year, but we're excited about our future.
All right, Coach, anything else you got that you might want to mention? I know you want everybody to come out Friday night and root for the Rocks.
Yeah, like I said,
It's a big game,
Yeah,
yeah.
we want to pack Riverview Stadium this week, and all of our guys will be there supporting our football team, and be a big game. And this is one where we can get one more to get to the Lucas Oil Stadium. But
And that would be wonderful for your athletic program and
just
the community.
Absolutely, and our football team. I feel like our football team and basketball team should just feed off each other. So the more
Absolutely.
success that I'm a firm believer, the more success they have is going to help us, and us vice versa. So I'll be there early and getting nervous for that game on Friday night, but. And then hopefully we can get one more the next week, and then we're right into basketball season. Hopefully we can get these stands filled out here and supporting our basketball team here in
Oh,
Westfield.
absolutely, absolutely. I think from seeing you early in the year last year to where you ended up, you guys made huge strides here. And
Yeah, we certainly
this-
did.
The
Certainly
success
did.
you had in the girls program, you're a proven winner, and you know how to do it. And it's just great to have the opportunity to come over here and talk to you. If you don't mind, maybe after the first year when you get 4 or 5 games under your belt, we'll
Yeah.
come back and we'll talk a little
Absolutely,
bit.
anytime.
See how things are going. We'll be able to talk a little bit more details how some of those guys are going.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you anytime. Thanks for having me on today.
All right. Thanks a lot. This is Perry Williams, and I'll catch you next time.